The lineup for the Darts Premier League has been announced, and as you may be able to tell, I'm fucking buzzing. Right, I don't know how he's done it, but I'm all here for it. You know, basically, if you saw my video on Friday, then you'll know that I went through and tried to predict the lineup for the Premier League, and we also went through that little image that the PDC brought out and tried to predict from there who will actually be in it, because obviously they give us some little some sort of like shadow figures trying to get it out, and yeah, I mean, to be fair, we're pretty close, and we're pretty close. We got 7 out of the 8 correct. Yeah, let's talk about it, shall we? So, of course, obviously, as we all know, the top 4 in the order of merit or automatic qualifiers. So, of course, we already knew that Luke Humphries, Luke Littler, Michael Van Gogh, and Rob Cross would already be in it. But the other 4 was a bit more up for grabs, especially with how unpredictable the last year was. So the 4 invited players this year were Stephen Bunting, who I think everyone knew would be in it. I think even, obviously, even if he didn't have his run at the World Championships, he probably would have been in it anyway. Let's be honest, he would have been in it last year had Luke Littler not burst onto the scene like he did. So yeah, Bunting would have been in last year anyway, but I think, you know, we all knew he would be in as well. Again, Chris Dobey, I think his run at the Worlds definitely helped to solidify his spot in the Premier League. Obviously, he had a great year on the floor. Obviously, he won 3 Pro Tours and, of course, finished first in the Pro Tour Order of Merit. Again, his TV stage form wasn't great, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, obviously, Gerwyn Price and Nathan Aspinall are the 2 inclusions where people are like, why? And I'll be honest, I'll tell you why. Because the Premier League, like literally, to be fair, someone on Twitter literally put it perfectly. The Premier League is just a glorified exhibition. All it is, it's a non-ranking event. Like no money won during this event goes towards prize money on the Order of Merit. It literally is just a glorified exhibition. And of course, you know, and again, I mentioned this in my last video. This is gonna be like the main source of darts for the majority of people. You know, like the casual fans, so to speak. And of course, obviously, to be fair, you couldn't change it too much because, you know, you've got players like Gerwyn Price and Nathan Aspinall, who is well known to casual players, obviously, sorry, casual fans. So yeah, that's why they've been included at the end of the day. And I mean, to be fair, I don't know about you lot, but I would much rather watch Price and Aspinall play each other rather than the likes of Chisnell, Noppert, you know, people like that. You know, you'd be thinking, you know, more deserving of a spot, but to be fair, you know, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, they're more entertaining players to watch, and then you could be like, oh yeah, Ricky Evans, Damon Heta, you know, well, I don't know, I'm not the PC, essentially. But yeah, overall, you know what, I'm very happy with that lineup, to be fair. Although obviously there were a couple of notable absentees which we'll go into in a moment. Obviously, to be fair, I think everyone thought that Van den Berg was going to be in it based on the silhouette, but it turns out that I think in the end that silhouette was off. I think that was Stephen Bunting, which is weird. Because yeah, the way it was, I think it was Stephen Bunting. It's a weird one. It's weird of whoever the PDC graphics people are. They've definitely had everyone fooled for a little bit, because we were all like, literally everybody and their dog was convinced that Van den Berg made it in, but he hasn't. And to be fair, without sounding too much like a dickhead, I'm happy, because I'll be honest, Van den Berg isn't the most fun player to watch ever, so I'm happy that he's not in it in a way. Again, it sounds horrible, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with that lineup, to be fair. But now we're going to go into the notable absentees who either haven't made it. So, of course, we're going to start off with the 2 players from last year who didn't make it back in. Those being Michael Smith and Peter Wright. Now, of course, to be fair, I think both of those were pretty inevitable. Especially Peter Wright. I mean, to be fair, like literally the last 2 years, Peter Wright had just a miserable time on the tour. I mean, yeah, he's picked up obviously, I think he won the European Championship back in October 23. couple of Euro tours here and there, but other than that, he's been just dreadful, and especially in the Premier League. Like even like obviously the last 2 years finished rock bottom. I mean, last year literally picked up like 2 wins at all, like not even just like 2 nights, like 2 games he won last year, and I believe they were both against Gerwyn Price as well, who finished 7th. So yeah, I'm not too surprised at that. You know, and again, Michael Smith, I mean, again, you know, he's now out of the top 16. He's joined 16th in the world with Josh Rock. Again, he's had a pretty poor year. Obviously, he won the World Cup with Luke Humphries, but other than that, it's just been dismal for Michael Smith. Really, so again, I'm not too surprised about him being cut loose as well. So I suppose players, you know, who you could argue maybe more deserving than Price and Aspinall, you know, Mike De Decker, for me, was a big one that's missed. I believe he is now the first player to ever win a Sky Major and then not make it into the Premier League the following year. So yeah, a big notable absentee there. Again, I suppose Van den Berg, I suppose as well. I suppose obviously everyone thought he would be in it. He then isn't in it. You know, it is what it is. Dave Chisnell, although to be fair, I mean, he's again, I think similar to Chris Dobie, he's done well on the floor this year and on the Euro Tour, but other than that, his TV form has been pretty dreadful. To be honest, like it's been just a bit like I'm pretty sure he's been knocked out in the first round of every single tournament bar the Grand Prix. Like, yeah, but other than that, he's had a good year. Richie Edhouse, a bit of a weird one, I suppose, but obviously, again, you know, he's had a pretty good year, especially out on the Euro Tour, and obviously he won the European Championship. I think someone brought up, obviously, one way which the Premier League lineup should be announced is through the yearly Order of Merit. So obviously, everyone knows now the Order of Merit is now by a 2-year system. However, obviously, however, there is still like a separate little yearly Order of Merit based on last year, and the top 8 in that list was obviously Humphries, Littler, Van Gerwen, Cross, Bunton, De Decker, Van den Berg, and Richie Edhouse. So, I mean, yeah, again, you could argue, you know, if you were going to pick the players on merit, probably could have picked them 8. But again, to be fair, like to be honest, like casual DOS players, and to be fair, a casual player, a casual fan's not going to know who fucking Richie Edhouse is, which is, again, it's a shame, because you know we all love Richie Edhouse. Us who do follow dots, you know, at every event, but you know, again, it is what it is. Again, I would have loved Edhouse to be in it, but again, you know, it's just like he's no matter what, like 28 in the world, and again, people just the casual fans just won't know who this bloke is. Again, same with Mike De Decker, I suppose, as well. See, before he went on his spree at the second half of last year, like no one knew who he was really, but again, casual fans. So yeah, it's of no real surprise, I suppose, in the end. But you know, it's a pity to say. However, one thing I will say though, obviously Matt Porter, obviously the director of the PDC, he said that the reason that they didn't pick Mike De Decker was because they didn't think he'd be ready, which on its own sounds fine, but then you also consider the fact that Luke Littler last year was called up. I mean, I know it's completely different examples, because obviously, you know, it's fucking Luke Littler, but at the same time, he literally only played in one pro tournament, and he made the final. But Mike De Decker literally has won a major tournament, and I think got the quarterfinals of the Players Championship finals. Was a mismatch start away from getting to Grand Slam semi-finals, sorry, quarterfinals. Like I won the Grand Prix. So, I mean, to be fair, Mike De Decker himself, I think people have forgotten that, you know, obviously, yeah, he didn't do very well at the World, but I think people have forgotten that he's done quite well in other tournaments as well, you know. So yeah, I don't get his reason for that for De Decker not being in. I don't think that's gonna be that. I don't think that's the reason why. I think the reason why is because obviously most casual fans don't fucking know who Mike De Decker is. So yeah, that's literally why, to be honest. Which is a shame. Obviously, as you guys know from my video on Friday, Mike De Decker was in my 8 picks. Which yeah, I mean to be fair, I got the other 7. I got 7 of the 8 correct. I mean, to be fair, fucking 5 of them are pretty easy to predict, to be fair. I'm not going to sit here and take credit for it, obviously, you know, like, because 5 of the players I predicted were fairly easy. But yeah, That's basically it, to be fair. To be fair, I don't know how I managed to get a fucking 10-minute video out of this, but yeah, that's basically my reaction to the Premier League lineup this year. Let me guys know your thoughts. Who do you guys think should have been in this over some other players? You know, I want to know your thoughts basically down below in the comments. That's it from me. Cheers for watching, guys. I'll see you all next time.